The Shield reunites as Dean Ambrose returns with Roman Reigns at WWE Crown Jewel 2025. This is absolutely unreal, and if you're not losing your mind right now, then you clearly don't understand the magnitude of what just happened at Crown Jewel 2025. Dean Ambrose, yes, Dean Ambrose, not Jon Moxley, just made a shocking return to WWE and reunited with Roman Reigns to reform the Shield in what is being called the most explosive and emotional moment in modern wrestling history. If you think this is just a nostalgic cash grab or a temporary reunion, you're dead wrong, because what I'm about to reveal proves this is a permanent game changer that will dominate WWE for the next year and possibly destroy everyone who stands in the Shield's path. Comment right now if you're crying tears of joy over the Shield reunion, because what went down in Saudi Arabia has sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world, and nobody, not AEW, not fans, not even WWE management, saw this coming. This isn't just about three guys teaming up again, this is about brotherhood being restored, about legacy being honored, and about the Shield proving that the most dominant faction in WWE history is back to reclaim what's always been theirs. The wrestling landscape just changed forever. Let me break down exactly how this moment unfolded, because every single detail is crucial to understanding why this reunion is so earth-shattering and so perfectly executed. Roman Reigns was in his brutal street fight against Bronson Reed, and the match had gone exactly as predicted: chaos. Tables were destroyed, chairs were mangled, both men were bleeding, and Roman was in serious trouble. Reed had hit that tsunami splash twice, and Roman was barely moving. The referee was checking if Roman could continue. The crowd was in shock because it looked like we were about to witness the end of Roman Reigns' historic reign. Reed was setting up for a third tsunami splash, climbing to the top rope with Roman laid out below him, positioning for the kill shot that would end the Tribal Chief's dominance forever. And then the lights went out. Complete darkness. The entire stadium in Saudi Arabia went silent. And then, the most iconic sound in wrestling history echoed through the arena. The opening notes of the Shield's theme music. That unmistakable sound that triggers instant chills and instant memories of dominance and brotherhood. Here's a trivia question for the real fans: what year did the Shield make their WWE debut? Drop your answer in the comments. When the lights came back on, there was a figure standing at the top of the ramp. Tactical vest. Jeans. That wild-eyed intensity that can only belong to one person. Dean Ambrose. Not Jon Moxley in a surprise crossover. Not a Jon Moxley tribute. Dean Ambrose, back in WWE, standing on that stage like he never left, looking directly at the ring with that unhinged smile that made him one of the most beloved wrestlers of his generation. The crowd absolutely erupted. The noise was deafening. People were crying, screaming, losing their minds at what they were witnessing. Dean Ambrose, who left WWE in 2019 and became Jon Moxley in AEW, who seemingly burned every bridge with WWE, who said he would never return, back in a WWE ring, at Crown Jewel, in the Shield gear, ready to save his brother Roman Reigns. But Dean didn't just walk to the ring, he sprinted. Full speed, sliding under the ropes, and immediately going after Bronson Reed. Dean pulled Reed off the top rope, hit him with dirty deeds right there, and then stood over Reed's fallen body with that signature Dean Ambrose intensity that we haven't seen in a WWE ring in years. Roman, barely conscious, looked up at Dean with an expression that was impossible to read: shock, gratitude, confusion, emotion, all of it mixed together. Dean extended his hand to Roman, and for a moment that felt like an eternity, Roman just stared at it. The history between these two men, the betrayals, the years apart, the different paths they took, all of it hanging in the balance of whether Roman would take Dean's hand. And then Roman reached up, grabbed Dean's hand, and Dean pulled him to his feet. The two former Shield brothers stood face to face, and then they embraced. A genuine embrace that felt real and emotional in a way that you can't fake. The crowd was absolutely losing it, chanting "Thank you, Dean" so loud that it echoed throughout the entire stadium. Drop a comment: did you cry during the Shield reunion moment, or did you manage to keep it together? Be honest. But the moment wasn't over. As Roman and Dean stood in that ring, the music changed. Seth Rollins' theme hit. And out walked the Visionary, also in Shield tactical gear, walking to the ring with tears streaming down his face. Seth had been feuding with Roman just weeks ago, but in this moment, none of that mattered. The Shield was more important than any individual feud or ego or championship. Seth entered the ring, and the three men stood in a triangle formation, the same formation that made them legendary. Roman, Dean, and Seth. The Hounds of Justice. The Shield. Reunited after years of betrayals, separations, individual successes, and paths that seemed like they would never intersect again. And yet, here they were, together again, and it felt like the wrestling world suddenly made sense again. The three men did the Shield fist bump, that iconic gesture that symbolized their unity and brotherhood. The crowd chanted "This is awesome" so loud that it probably registered on seismic equipment. This wasn't just a wrestling moment, this was a cultural moment, a moment that transcended the business and became about something deeper and more meaningful. Bronson Reed, now recovered, tried to attack again, but the Shield moved as one. They destroyed Reed with a triple powerbomb through a table, reminding everyone why they were the most dominant faction in WWE history. The coordination, the chemistry, the power of the Shield operating as a unit, it was like they never left. Years apart meant nothing when these three men worked together. After the match, after Reed was stretchered out, the Shield stood in that ring and Roman grabbed a microphone. His voice was emotional, cracking with genuine feeling as he spoke. "For years, people have asked me about the Shield. They've asked if we'd ever reunite. They've asked if the Brotherhood could be restored. And I always said, I didn't know. I didn't know if we could put the past behind us. I didn't know if we could be those three guys again." Quick question: how many times did the Shield officially break up before this reunion? Test your Shield history. Roman continued, "But tonight, in front of the world, my brothers came back. Dean Ambrose came back. And I realized something: the Shield isn't just a faction. It's not just three guys who happen to team up. It's family. It's forever. And starting tonight, the Shield is back. And we're taking over WWE the same way we did 10 years ago, by force." Seth grabbed the mic next. "I betrayed you. I broke the Shield. I spent years trying to justify what I did, trying to explain why I destroyed the best thing I ever had. But the truth is, I was wrong. I was stupid. And I've regretted it every single day since. But tonight, we get a second chance. Tonight, the Shield is reborn. And this time, nothing is breaking us apart." Then Dean spoke, and his words were powerful. "I left WWE because I felt like I'd lost myself. I felt like I couldn't be me anymore. But you know what I realized during my time away? No matter where I went, no matter what I did, no matter what name I used, I was always Shield. That's who I am. That's who I'll always be. And it's time to come home. It's time to remind everyone why the Shield changed this business forever." The three men stood together, raised their fists, and the crowd went absolutely insane. This was the moment that millions of fans had dreamed about for years. This was the reunion that seemed impossible. And now it was real. The backstage reaction was reportedly chaotic. Wrestlers were in shock. Some were terrified because the Shield being back means the entire WWE hierarchy is about to be destroyed. Others were excited because this creates opportunities and storylines that wouldn't exist otherwise. Everyone understood that WWE just changed overnight. Tell me your take: is this Shield reunion the biggest return moment in WWE history, or can you think of something bigger? Let me know in the comments. The implications of this reunion are staggering. The Shield as a unit is unstoppable. They've proven it before, and they'll prove it again. Every championship is now at risk. Every faction is now vulnerable. Every superstar who thought they were safe is now in danger because the Shield takes what they want, and nobody can stop them when they work together. The question everyone is asking is, how did WWE pull this off? How did they get Dean Ambrose back after he left on seemingly bad terms? How did they convince him to return as Dean Ambrose instead of Jon Moxley? What kind of contract did they offer? What creative control does he have? These are questions that will be answered in time, but right now, the what matters more than the how. The fact that Dean returned as Dean Ambrose is huge. It means he's committed to being part of WWE's universe again, not just making a temporary appearance. It means he's willing to embrace the character and identity that made him famous in WWE. It means this is a real reunion, not a one-off moment for shock value. The merchandise sales are going to be astronomical. Shield gear was already popular, but new Shield merchandise with all three members reunited? WWE is about to make millions. Tactical vests, shirts, action figures, replica props, everything Shield related is going to fly off shelves. This reunion is a goldmine from a business perspective. The storytelling possibilities are endless. Does the Shield go after the bloodline? Does Roman have to choose between his two families? Do they target champions and collect gold? Do they face new factions formed specifically to counter them? Every direction WWE could go with this reunion has potential for incredible television. The emotional weight of this reunion cannot be overstated. For fans who grew up watching The Shield, who were there for their debut, who witnessed their dominance and their breakup and their individual rises, this reunion is deeply personal. It's not just about wrestling, it's about seeing something you love restored after you thought it was gone forever. What's your honest feeling? Does this Shield reunion feel genuine and earned, or does it feel like WWE just pushing nostalgia buttons? Drop your real opinion. The timing is perfect. Wrestling is in a boom period with multiple companies competing for attention. The Shield reuniting in WWE is a massive statement that WWE can deliver moments that nobody else can. It's a reminder of WWE's history, their legacy, and their ability to create cultural moments that transcend the business. Dean's return is particularly significant for AEW. He was one of their top stars as Jon Moxley. His return to WWE is a blow to AEW's roster and a statement that WWE can bring back anyone if they want to. The wrestling war just got more intense, and WWE just dropped a nuclear bomb on the competition. The Crown Jewel location adds another layer of significance. Saudi Arabia events are where WWE makes their most shocking moments happen. Dean Ambrose returning and the Shield reuniting at Crown Jewel cements this event as one of the most important in WWE history. This is a moment that will be replayed for decades. The social media reaction has been unprecedented. Wrestling Twitter exploded. Instagram was flooded with videos and reactions. TikTok trends were dominated by Shield reunion content. This moment transcended wrestling fandom and became a mainstream conversation. That's how you know something is truly special. Critics and analysts are already calling this one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. The surprise factor, the emotional resonance, the perfect execution, the implications for the future, everything came together perfectly to create something that will be remembered and celebrated for years to come. The question now is, what's next? Where does the Shield go from here? The answer is everywhere. They're going to dominate every show, every storyline, every conversation about WWE. The Shield reunion isn't just a moment, it's the beginning of a new era. One final question: if the Shield can have any match they want for their first official reunion match, who should they face? Give me your dream booking in the comments. The legacy implications are profound. The Shield's original run defined a generation of wrestling. Their reunion has the potential to define another generation. This is about cementing their status as the greatest faction of all time, and they have the opportunity to create new legendary moments that add to their mythos. Now I want to hear from you, the Wrestling Newsletter family, about everything. Tell me in the comments. Where were you when the Shield reunited? Did you ever think Dean Ambrose would return to WWE? Who should the Shield feud with first? What championships should they go after? Is this the greatest wrestling moment of 2025? What was your emotional reaction to seeing all three together again? Smash that like button if the Shield reunion made you emotional. Destroy that like button if you're ready to see the Shield dominate WWE again. This is a historic moment and we need maximum engagement. Subscribe to Wrestling Newsletter because we're going to cover every single Shield moment going forward. Every match, every promo, every appearance, we'll have complete analysis and coverage. Share this video with every wrestling fan because the Shield reunion at Crown Jewel 2025 is something everyone needs to see and discuss. This is wrestling history being made in real time. Dean Ambrose is back. The Shield is reunited. Roman, Seth, and Dean are together again. Crown Jewel 2025 delivered the most shocking and emotional moment in modern wrestling, and WWE will never be the same. The Hounds of Justice have returned. The Shield is eternal. And the wrestling world just got put on notice. Believe in the Shield.